Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. We've already got 3 people in the Kahoot Lounge. So if you're new here, go to the Kahoot website, the Kahoot app, and put in the game pin. I'll put it up on screen. You can see it there next to me. 3 people are waiting already. Today we're doing a grammar test. So I didn't prepare any slides, just test questions, nothing to write, everything multiple choice. But you do have sometimes multi-select. That means more than one of the options may be correct. You have to use your judgment with that. I mostly included tense questions. So if you're good at the tenses, you should be okay. Tenses, a few conditional questions, verb patterns, not too many. I want to say hi to Renata. Renata, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm so happy to have you here. Hi, Vikas. Hi, Roya. I'm sorry I had to cancel last week. I had COVID, my first time with COVID. It was not fun, but I survived. Oh no, Roya can't have access to Kahoot. Well, Roya, you can still play along in the chat. I'll praise you when you get a question right. Romelia's back. Hi, Romelia. Nice to see you. Last time Giovanna was the winner. Let's see if she shows up again today. I see Slyman. Somebody again. Nike. Naf, Ron, and Donald. I don't know if Romelia, if you're going to join on Kahoot today or just in the chat, but I think I will start the game in just a few seconds. There's Roya. Good job, Roya. I know that you need a stable internet connection. And Romelia's in the waiting lounge too. Okay, let me just, I'll make myself smaller. So you can see the whole screen. Okay, everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Test your English grammar. There are 23 questions today. Question number 1. It's a multi-select one. I'm hungry, but I don't have money for food. 2 of them are possible. Which ones work? So it is a negative question. Someone still has to put in their answer. Very good. So the 2 correct answers would be any. I don't have any money for food. Any is used in negatives and questions, or I don't have enough money for food would also be possible. Ron is at the top with his pacifier. Little baby donkey. Another multi-select question. So only 2 of these are possible. Perfect. The first 2 are correct. He claims he knows nothing, or he claims he doesn't know anything about the stolen money. The third one, the yellow one, is not possible because it's a double negative. You don't use doesn't and nothing together. Ron, Naf, and then Donald. Another tense question. They know, they have known, or they have been knowing each other since university. Which option is okay? Okay, this one, I knew some of you would get it incorrect. The only correct answer is the blue one. They have known each other since university. With since, you always take a perfect tense, the present perfect. And the yellow is not possible because to know is a stative verb, so we don't use it in the ing form. They know each other, but they have known each other since university. Very good. And somebody climbed up to third place. Very good, Romelia. She's helping me out with the grammar explanations. They usually go jogging after work. It's the only correct one. It's not possible to use this in the present continuous. I bet Romelia knows why. Because usually takes the present simple. They usually go. Great job. Okay, Roya is in 5th place, Sleiman 4th, somebody, Naf, and Ron is at the lead. My sister hasn't a boyfriend, haven't a boyfriend, doesn't have a boyfriend, or hasn't got a boyfriend. And I can tell you that 2 of these are correct. She doesn't have a boyfriend. That's the negative. And you can also say she hasn't got a boyfriend. That's more spoken and it's more British English, but both the yellow and the green are correct. Very good. Roya climbed up. I phoned you last night, but you wasn't home, weren't home, didn't home, or were not home. Which options are correct? Good. So you weren't home is correct, or the long form, you were not home is correct. Wasn't and didn't are not correct. They're not the auxiliary verbs here. And Ron is on fire. Enjoy. Do you enjoy doing sports? Everyone got that one so fast. I bet you learned that from the verb patterns Kahoot we did. Enjoy is always followed with the verb in the ing form. Good job. It's another verb pattern question. I stopped smoke. I stopped to smoke, or I stopped smoking when I was 30. 100%. Good job. I stopped smoking. Look, the train comes, is coming, is approaching. Which two are possible? Present continuous. It's right now. We can see it. So the train is coming. Another option is the train is approaching. Pretty much the same meaning, but they have to be in the present continuous. Another multi-select. In September next year, I will work, will be working, will have been working, or will have worked at this company for 10 years. Romelia gave you a good hint. It's future perfect continuous. You can also use future perfect. Will have been working or will have worked. Both are correct. So will have been working one continuous length of time or will have worked for 10 years total is also possible. Very good. Future perfect continuous tense. I'm impressed. Most of you got that one right. Look at those clouds. It rains. It will rain. It is going to rain, or it is about to rain. Which two are possible? Good, and I see it in the comments already. It is going to rain or it is about to rain. A little bit strange, but it's absolutely correct. Yellow and green. It will rain. That's more for something spontaneous. And here we're making a prediction, so we use the going to. The futures are harder than everyone thinks. I know I proposed to do the future tenses, and it was not a very popular idea. I think people have the impression that they're easy, but they're not that easy. They're not that easy to explain. Okay. They had lunch when I saw them. They were having lunch when I saw them. They was having lunch when I saw them, or they had already had lunch when I saw them at the restaurant. Two of them are possible, and two of them are not. The correct answers are they were having lunch when I saw them at the restaurant. They were having is the longer action, or they had already had lunch when I saw them. That means they finished by the time that I saw them in the past. So red and yellow are not possible. Yellow is not possible because it's plural, they, so it would be they were. And had is also not possible because it's just the simple. They had lunch when I saw them. That's would mean right afterwards. Doesn't really match the tense. Hi, John. I see you answering the questions in the comments too. Okay, maybe. Good, John. That's right, the train is counting. If I pass my driving test, I will buy a new car. I would buy a new car. I would have bought a new car, or I am going to buy a new car. Romelia, you are so good at giving hints without giving away the answer. That's right. The first conditional for the future, I will buy a new car, is correct. And the second correct one is I am going to buy a new car. Will future and going to future are both correct for the first conditional. Okay, Vikas, you can ask a question if you like. Number 14. Our children will suffer if we will not look after our planet, don't look after our planet, didn't look after our planet, or can't look after our planet. A little bit tricky. It's an if sentence with the will future, so it must be first conditional too. Very good. Our children will suffer if we don't look after our planet is correct. It's also possible to use can't, yeah, for the first conditional. If we can't look after our planet, our children will suffer. Good job, Vikas. I would still be single if I wouldn't have met my wife, hadn't met my wife, didn't meet my wife, or haven't met my wife. Which one do you need to use? It's a mixed conditional. I would still be single now. And then for the other part, for the if, you have to go back a tense. If I hadn't met my wife. So the only correct one would be the blue one. If I hadn't met my wife in the past, I would still be single now. It was a mean one. Okay, what did most people say? If I didn't meet my wife, that would be the second conditional. And doesn't make sense because you're not meeting her at this moment. You met her in the past. So you need the past perfect. That one was a mixed conditional. Anyway, the ranking is about the same. A new peace deal is signed by the leaders right now, is being signed by the leaders right now, is being signing by the leaders right now, or could be being signed. You got a little bit of passive, you got a little bit of continuous. Is being signed, correct. It's an action happening right now, or could be being signed. Very unusual, but it's correct. It is being signed as we speak. As we speak is the key word. Yeah, it's something that's happening right now. You're too late. You must have arrived 2 hours ago. You should have arrived 2 hours ago. You might have arrived 2 hours ago, or you should arrive 2 hours ago. One correct answer. Oh my goodness. You should have arrived 2 hours ago. 5 are correct. You must have arrived 2 hours ago. That means you probably did arrive. You should have arrived 2 hours ago. That means I'm angry because you're 2 hours late. Modal verbs in the past. I gave you some hard ones in this Kahoot. Last time someone was telling me they were easy, so I put some difficult ones in here to challenge you a little bit. Hi, Vikas. Vikas, you asked me that question in an email and I wrote you back. Don't you remember? They decided to go camping instead of staying in a hotel. Ooh, relative clause. Which relative pronoun do you take? Very good. Which was a big mistake. So the whole situation was a big mistake. So you take the relative pronoun which. That is not possible after the comma. What is not a relative pronoun, and neither is it. It can only be which. Non-defining relative pronoun. Maybe I should do a whole Kahoot on those ones. Those are always challenging. "19 out of 23. My friend suggested me to invest in cryptocurrency. Me investing in cryptocurrency. That I invest in cryptocurrency. Or my friend suggested I invest in cryptocurrency." Verb pattern. The verb suggest. What grammar do you take? I knew I would get you with this one. My friend suggested that I invest in cryptocurrency, or my friend suggested I invest in cryptocurrency. Red and blue are not possible. You may be translating from your first language. Suggest that I do. Okay. Past tense of teach. I teached my dog, I taught my dog, I touched my dog, or I have taught my dog to sit and roll over. Two are possible. Good, Vikas. Very good. I taught my dog, or I have taught my dog to sit and roll over. Both are correct. Teached is not a word. Yeah, the past tense of teach is taught. Touched is past tense of touch. Good job. Okay, this is really suspenseful. Ron, Naf, somebody, Roya, Romelia. Let's see, we have a couple to go. Spent all my money. Have spent all my money. Having spent all my money. Having had spent all my money. I had to hitchhike back home. Which one is correct? Very good. Having spent all my money, participle phrase. Having spent all my money, I had to hitchhike. Nobody hitchhikes anymore. I never see people hitchhiking. I said good evening to the man, comma, who opened the door. The man who opened the door. The man, comma, that opened the door. The man which opened the door. Think, think, think. Good. The correct answer is blue, the man who opened the door. And we're defining the man, so there is no comma. Blue is correct, the only correct one. Which does not, we don't use which for people, and we don't use that as a non-defining relative clause. Very good. Okay, I think there's one more question. With two possibilities. My cousin said he was to the hairdresser has been to the hairdresser, had been to the hairdresser, or was going to the hairdresser? Yes, Romelia, recorded speech. And 2 of them are possible. And 2 of them are not. Good. My cousin said he had been to the hairdresser. Reported speech, he had been to the hairdresser before speaking. Or my cousin said he was going to the hairdresser. That's the future in the past. So yesterday he said, I'm going to the hairdresser. And when I report, he said he was going to the hairdresser. Very good. Red and blue are not possible. So in reported speech, we don't use a present tense. Somebody, good job. 3rd place. Naf, 2nd place. And the grand prize winner is Ron. Congratulations, Ron. I'm going to give you a free private lesson. So look in the comments, get my email. My Kahoot group, I have a group in Kahoot where I collect all of the Kahoots I do on Sundays. Please give me your email and I'll add you to it. Okay, I'll just add my email here to the live chat while I'm thinking about it. In case you can't find it in the description for today's Kahoot. And this will be the last Kahoot I'm doing on a Sunday before the end of the year. I need some time to plan what I'm doing next semester. Maybe I'll offer a course. I want to continue doing the Sunday live streams. I might change the time. I haven't decided yet, but I need a little bit of a break to plan a few things. And then I'll see you again in January. Take care, everybody. Good job today.